reproductive system, accessory glands we are taking. Male reproductive system, associated glands we are taking. What are the associated or the accessory glands that are presented into the male reproductive system? There are the three glands are presented: seminal vesicles, prostate gland, bulbourethral glands, or these are the corpus gland. So these are the three types of the glands are presented: seminal vesicles, prostate glands, prostate gland, and the bulbourethral glands we are taking. So seminal vesicles, where the seminal vesicles are presented. So before the ejaculation duct, so the vas differentia is connected with the ejaculatory duct, the common ejaculatory duct. So by a structure is called as a seminal vesicle. What is the advantage? What is the importance of the seminal vesicles means? Here they are secreting the 60% of the semen. Total the semen we are taking means 60% of the semen is secreted by the seminal vesicles only. That means sperm cells are not producing it is. Semen means sperm cells along with their surrounding medium content is called as semen. Viscous fluid is called as semen. In that the viscous fluid is secreted, the 60% of the semen, total semen we are taking amount of the semen we are taking 5 to 7 ml of the semen every coitus we are taking 5 to 7 ml of the semen we are inseminating into the males we are taking. So in that the 60% of the semen is secreted from the seminal vesicles. Whether we are taking the seminal vesicular secretions, it is a viscous fluid and contains the amount of fructose is presented here. Fructose is presented. Fructose is the major content of the in the seminal vesicle. So what is the use of these the secretions of the seminal vesicle means? It is producing the 7.4 pH content, 7.4 pH having the secretion. So because of the alkali nature of the seminal vesicle secretions, the traces of the uric acid traces of the vaginal tract we are taking the acid traces are neutralized by the seminal vesicular secretions we are taking. And not only that, it contains mostly the fructose here. So the fructose is useful for the nutrition of the sperm cells while the time of the motility we are. Their energy is supplied by the seminal vesicular secretions only. So that is the advantage of the seminal vesicle. Their secretions we are. And then next one we are taking is prostate gland. Where the prostate gland is presented, here both the sides of the prostate urethral region, okay, surrounded by the one glandular structure. A leafy glandular structure is called as a prostate gland here. So this prostate gland, it is opens into the urethra by a number of fine tubes are opens into the prostate urethra from the prostate gland. And what is the use of the prostate gland means? Prostate gland approximately 25% of the semen is secreted from the prostate gland, and in this secretion is a white milky fluid. Prostate glands are secreting into a white milky fluids are secreting, and most probably these are having the 6.4 pHs are presented. These secretions are having into the 6.4. That means a slightly acidic conditions are present. So what is the advantages of the prostate glandular secretions means? The prostate glands, their secretions are activating into the inactive sperms as the active sperms. So that is the advantage of the prostate glandular secretions we are taking. Okay, prostate glandular secretion we are. And next one, the bulbethral glands are generally called as a Cowper glands. Why we given the name of the bulbethral means a bulbous structures are a pair of the bulbous structures are presented below the postate gland. Postate gland only the one, but here the bulbethral glands we are taking pair of the bulbethral glands. The bulbous structures are presented. They are opens directly into the urethra at the region of the membranous urethral region. We are taking membranous urethral region. Here, these bulbous glands also secretes into the alkaline secretion only. So these are also secreted the alkaline secretion. What is the advantage is the bulbethral gland secretion or the Cowper gland secretion means the Cowper gland secretions, whatever it is, urinary traces are presented. Urine traces are presented in the urethra. Urine traces are presented in the urethra. So those are neutralized by the bulbethral glands only, their secretions only. That is the advantages of the bulbethral gland and their secretion. That means these are acting as the secretions of the bulbethral gland acting as a flush out agents. Okay, flush out agent. Flushing means they are cleaning into the tract before releasing of the semens from the ejaculatory duct we are taking means. So these are the three types of the accessory glands are presented in the case of the male reproductive system we are taking and their advantages we are taking means. And then female reproductive system we are taking means female reproductive system is also having the accessory glands are presented. Accessory glandular structures are presented we are taking means. Just I am drawing here the vestibular region. Here we are taking means here also three types of the glandular accessory glandular structures are present in the case of the females. They are the greater vestibular glands, lesser vestibular glands, mammary glands. Okay, greater vestibular glands, lesser vestibular glands, and the mammary glands. One by one can be discussed. First one is the greater vestibular glands, or these are called as sunken glands. We call. Okay, sunken glands. Where these are presented? Here the vaginal orifice, both the sides of the vaginal orifice we are taking means. So these are having a pair of the glands are presented. These are called as a greater vestibular glands here. These are the greater. So what is the function of the greater vestibular glands means the greater vestibular glands also secreting into a viscous fluid. These are also secreted a viscous fluid. So their function is similar to that of the postate gland in the case of the males we are taking. So whatever is the postate gland functions they are conducting. So viscosity, to form the viscosity, so lubrication process. These glandular secretions, the vaginal tract we are taking viscous fluid they are secreting here. That is the major function of the greater vestibular glands or the sunken glands here. And the lesser vestibular glands are also presented. A pair of the lesser vestibular glands are also presented. Where these are presented means on the both the sides of the urethral orifice we are taking means urethral orifice. Both the sides of the urethral orifice, small openings are presented. These are called as lesser vestibular glands here. These are the lesser. These are the similar to that of the Cowper glands or the bulbethral glands of the males we are taking. So these are also releasing into a small white or the colorless secretions are releasing into this lesser vestibular gland. These are acting as a flushing agent in the case of the vestibular tract or the vaginal tract we are taking. So these two glands are presented in the case of the external genitalia region. The third glands we are taking in the case of the female, mammary glands or the milk glands are presented. So these are comes under the specification of the sexual dimorphism in the case of the females. Mammary glands are developed, so both the mammary glands are present in the male and the female. But the development is there only in the case of the females we are taking. Mammary glands are developing here. Whether we are taking the structure of the mammary glands, breast region. Mammary gland development is nothing but as a breast development we are. We are taking to the mammary glands. The mammary glands are having the internally, these are forming with the number of lobules are presented. Mammary gland lobules are presented. Each lobule is having the number of alveoli. These alveoles, number of alveoles, the lobules are opens into the mammary lobe. This is called as the mammary lobe. Like this, from each lobule, one lobe is forming. Mammary lobule. So all these number of lobes are commonly opens. All these lobes are commonly opens. A structure is called as a ampulla. This is called as a ampulla. Ampulla structure. And this number of ampullas opens the ductus structure is called as a lactiferous. And there opens anteriorly in the case of the nipple we are taking. So this is the arrangement of the mammary glands here. So when these are developing means after the getting of the maturity, puberty, the mammary glands are going to developing in the case of the females as a secondary sexual characters we are taking. So their functions are occurs. These mammary glands are mostly involving into the after the parturition, after the birth of the babies, pregnancy. So from the mammary alveoli of the mammary glands, they are secreting into the glandular secretions. The milk is secreting here. That milk is ejection through this passage. So through the sucking of the blood, so through the nipples, the baby is getting into the feeding. So these are the three types of the glands are present. Accessory glands are presented in the case of the females we are taking. Gametogenesis. So gametogenesis means nothing but as the synthesis or the production of the gametes we are taking. In that case, spermatogenesis and the ovulation. Ovigenesis we call. So spermatogenesis, the case of the males, the male gametes production is called as the spermatogenesis. In the case of the females, the producing of the ova is called as the ovulation or the ovigenesis we call. So one by one we can be discussing with the spermatogenesis and the ovigenesis process we are taking. In the case of the humans, GnRH, gonadotrophic releasing hormone. When we are taking the gonadotrophic releasing hormone, so when it is synthesized from the hypothalamus, GnRH is released, synthesizes into the hypothalamus. That time it stimulates into the pituitary gland and influencing the secretions of LH and the FSH hormones we are taking. LH and the FSH hormones are secreted. Whenever the LH and the FSH hormones are secreted, so these two hormones are influencing, these two hormones are involving into the secretions of the some secretion. So for example, LH, luteinizing hormone, and the follicular stimulating hormone we are taking. Means luteinizing hormone, so leading cells, the leading cells are activated by the LH hormone. The follicular stimulating hormone is involving into the leading cells and producing into the androgens, testosterone, or otherwise called as a testosterone. So it is involving into the secondary sexual characters of the male. In the females we are having the FSH is involving the spermatogonial mother cells. Spermatogonial mother cells we are having. Spermatogonial mother cells we are having. So leading cells are LH, FSH is the spermatogonial mother cells are maturating. Then we are taking the how the sperms are maturating and producing. We know that in the testicular sacs we are taking, so testicular lobules, seminiferous tubules are present. The seminiferous, each seminiferous tubule we are taking, the internally it is covering by the a cuboidal epithelial tissue is called as a germ layers are forming. Germ layer or the germ is presented. Cuboidal epithelial tissue is formed. These germ cells are, these are nothing but as a spermatogonial mother cells. These are the spermatogonial mother cells. So the spermatogonial mother cells are, here we are taking the spermatogenesis, there the number of steps are there. First one is the multiplication step. Proliferation step, maturation step, and spermatogenesis step. So these are the steps are involving in the case of the spermatogenesis. How it is? First one is of multiplication. So what it is happening the multiplication, when it is happening the multiplication means whenever the GnRH, gonadotrophic releasing hormone, is secreted from the hypothalamus, that time spermatogonial mother cells, that is seminiferous tubules, their internal lineage is forming by the spermatogonial mother cells. These spermatogonial mother cells initially these are in the 2n condition, diploid cells only. These are the 2n condition. Gonial mother cells, spermatogonial mother cells are the diploid cells here. Diploid cell. So these are going to divide into the mitotically. Mitotic divisions are undergoes here. They are going to mitotically and producing the more the number of the spermatogonial cells are producing. More the number of spermatogonial cells are produced. So that time these are into the 2n condition only. All these are the 2n condition only. Later on, these 2n condition spermatogonial cells, mother cells too, they are produces in the, so two types of the type A and the type B they are producing now. So type A is producing and the type B is producing. The type B directly is involving into the sperm formation. The type A is further acting as a stem cells here. These are for the stem cell. That means next time, so sperm production is involving into the spermatogonial mother cells. They are converted as type A type. So these are further number of times undergoing into the mitotic division. So type B directly is involving into the meiosis and they are developing as a sperm cells here. Directly these are participating here. So this is the first step in the case of the sperm multiplication. The spermatogonial mother cells are they are increasing into their number here. Where this it is presented? So germinal epithelium is presented into the seminal tubules, the inner lineages of the seminal tubules where we are taking here. Okay, so this is the spermatogonial mother. First step. Next, proliferation. Proliferation. So in the proliferation, what it is happened means whatever it is of type B are the spermatogonial cells are produces. They are the 2n condition already we know that. First one is the spermatogonial mother cell, and the spermatogonial mother cell is starting into the this is the spermatogonial mother cell. Multiplication is occurs here. This is the multiple spermatogonial cell. The spermatogonial cell is undergoes into the meiotic division here. Meiotic division 1. Meiosis 1 it is undergoes here. So when it is undergoes into the meiosis 1, what is happened means the number of the cells are going to reduce into the n. Meiosis 1, meiotic division 1 is occurs. That time they are producing the number of the chromosomes you are taking, 2 cells are they are producing. N number is forming. Here it is the 2n number. Here also it is into the 2n number. Spermatogonial cells also 2n number, and their cells meiotic 1 division they are producing into the 2 cells are called as a n cells are n in the condition here, haploid in the condition. So this haploid condition, this state is called as a proliferation state we are called. This is the state is called as a proliferation. The half of the chromosomal number is going to reducing here. So once it is going to reduce, what it is happened? Again these are undergoes each cell. Just we are taking the one cell. This cell is undergoes into the unequal division and forming into the one. Sorry, not unequal division. So these are undergoes into the again into they are undergoes into the maturation and forming into the meiosis, meiotic division 1, meiotic division 2 they completes here. Meiotic division 2 completes and producing each cell is forming into the 2 spermatids are producing. From each spermatogonial cell 2 they are producing the spermatids are producing. So spermatids, these are called as spermatids. Spermatids are. The spermatids are now these are also n condition. Further, the spermatids are going to maturate. Up to here it is called as a proliferation. Their number is going to rising here. Proliferation is occurs. Next one is the maturation. Whatever the spermatids are produces, so these are undergoes into the maturation and forming as a spermatozoa. Each cell is developing as a spermatozoa. Okay, or sperm is forming here. So like this spermatogenesis is occurs in the case of the male preordainments. What are those? Spermatogonial mother cells is undergoes into the mitotic division forming into the spermatogonial cells. Spermatogonial cells are further meiotic division 1 is undergoes and producing into the haploid cells of the spermatogonial cells. So spermatogonial cells are further converting the meiotic division 2 is undergoes and forming into the spermatids, and spermatids are further spermatozoa is forming. So this is regarding to the male gametogenesis, that is the spermatogenesis. Next one we are taking the female gametogenesis. There also the hormones are the same. How they are involving means the GnRH, whenever the GnRH is released in the case of the females, GnRH is released, it stimulates in the LH and the FSH hormones. LH and the FSH hormones only. The LH hormone is luteinizing hormone. It is involving into the secretions of the progesterone, and FSH is a so it is involving into the Graafian follicle maturation here. That means Graafian follicle maturation. LH is involving the progesterone secretion from the corpus luteum. After the Graafian follicle, what is the corpus luteum means? The Graafian follicles. What are the Graafian follicles means? The matured. So whose site structure is called as the Graafian follicle we call. These Graafian follicles, after the releasing of the ova, whatever it is, the remaining structure is called as the corpus luteum. That corpus luteum to the progesterone secretion is involving into the LH secretion. LH is influencing into the progesterone secretion. FSH is involving into the Graafian follicular maturation here. So how the oogenesis is occurs in the case of the females we are taking means. So first of all, the ovary and the ovarian structure we are taking means. This is the ovary. After the puberty state we call. This is the ovary structure. One ovary called. So in this ovary externally is covering by the Tunica vascularis. So peritoneal vascularis. This is the peritoneal vascularis is covering. So vascularis is covering, and inner we are taking means a germ layer is presented here. Germ layer. This is the germ layer. The blue color one is called as a germ layer. A cuboidal cells are forming. This is the germ layer cells. Cuboidal cells. So in this germ layer inner we are taking means albuginia is presented. A connective fibrous tissue is presented. This is called as a albuginia. Okay. So this albuginia and the stroma of the ovary we are taking means it is differentiated into the two regions. One is the cortex region and other one is the medullary. This is the cortex region and this is the medullary region. Medullary region. The cortex region is highly dense region and having the at different stages of developing oogonias are presented or follicles are present. Ovarian follicles are presented into the cortex region. It is a highly dense region we call. In the case of the medullary region we are taking means it is a loosely or the not having the that much of the density and supplied by the number of blood vessels, and the fibers are supplied into the, so in this region is called as a medullary region. This is called as a medullary region. Like this two regions, the ovarian stroma we are taking means cortex region, medullary region is one. Here from where to ovas are developing means the germinal epithelium. There also in the females the germinal epithelium only involving into the sperm production. Here also the germinal epithelium. Here the germinal epithelium is the oogonial mother cells are presented. This oogonial mother cells also the two in the condition only now. They are also two in the condition. Whenever the germinal epithelium is innerly folding means some places of germinal epithelium is folded into the innerly and forming into the a follicle. So this follicular structure, this is called as a primary follicle. Primary follicle is forming here. Primary follicle is forming, and the primary follicle is meiotic division 1. Okay. So So prophase is the meiotic division. Sorry, prophase 1 and the meiotic division 1. So there itself there are checks or the stops into their cell division. So whenever the female individual by the time of the birth, each ovary they are having the approximately we are taking the number of primary oocytes are presented when they are going to reaching into the puberty. Each ovary contains 60 to 80,000 of the primary ovarian follicles are presented in the each ovary we are there. So when these are developing in the developmental stages of the embryo itself, the primary oocytes are produced, they are developed, they are stops into the cell division into the M1 at the M1 stage into the mitotic division 1 stage only. Prophase of the mitotic stage 1 only, they are stopping here. Prophase, not prophase. So metaphase of the mitotic division only, they are stopping here. M1 phase. Metaphase only, they are stopping here. So this is the condition is presented at the time of the birth. After, when they are going to growing into the female individuals, they are reaching into the puberty state. That time they are having only the 60 to 80,000 of the primary follicular cells only present. So these are slowly going to degenerating, degrading in the case of the females we are taking. Okay. So in these primary follicles, alternatively, already we know that two ovaries are present. Every if we are taking every 28 days once one ova is releasing alternatively from the each ovary. That means one ovary is releasing into the this ovary is releasing into the ovum first time. Next time, next 28 days, this ovary is releasing into the ovum here. That means again releasing into this ovary into the ovum, it takes into the 48 plus 40, 28 plus 28, approximately 56 days. Okay, 56 days once the ovary is releasing into the one ovum. So every 28 days one ovum is alternatively from the ovaries they are releasing. So then we are taking to the developmental stages. Here also we are taking means the stages are presented the ovulation. They are the multiplication, proliferation, maturation and oogenesis. So these are the stages are presented one by one can be discussed. First one is the multiplication state. So what is the multiplication state means from the germinal epithelium to whenever the primary follicles are present. The structure of the primary follicle we are taking means the oogonial mother cell is divided This is the oogonial mother cell and it is surrounded by a granulosa tissue here. A few layers of the granulosa tissue. This condition is called as a primary oocyte. This is called as a primary oocyte here. So it is developing from the germinal epithelium. So these primary oocyte, number of primary oocytes are producing from the germinal epithelium. So by a mitotic division is called as a multiplication. First mitotic division or undergoes into the oogonial mother cells and producing into the primary oocyte is producing. Oocyte is producing them. So this stage is called as a multiplication. So once the primary oocytes are presented in the particular region of the each ovary, they are stored for they are storing into the particular region only. So up to they are getting into the maturation. So in the regular intervals, these primary oocytes, whatever it is, they are presented into the primary. These are the 2n condition we are taking means the 2n condition primary oocytes is undergoes into the unequal division. They are undergoes further the primary oocyte is forming into the primary follicle The primary oocyte is forming into the primary follicle. This condition is called as primary follicular stage. Why it called as primary follicular stage means primary follicle. This primary follicle is forming the secondary follicle and tertiary follicular stage. So when the oogonial cells are enters into the tertiary follicular state, that time the oogonium cell this rough diagram we are giving. So here the oogonium cells it is. This is oogonia. Taking this is the oogonia, and this oogonia around the granulosa tissue is forming primary. So oocyte we are taking only the few layers of the granulosa tissue only present. Whenever it reaching into the tertiary oogonial structure, so that time more the number of the oogonial cells are presented, and these are forming into the one cavitized structure is forming. Okay. So follicular anthem, this is called as a follicular anthem. It is filling by the fluid, follicular fluid it is filling here. And this granulosa tissue, this is called as a cumulus oophoricus. Cumulus oophoricus is presented. So like this, the tertiary follicular structure is present forming here. So up to here it is a primary oocyte. So this state the ovaries are presented here. Okay, in this state up to this, in this state, so mitotic division metaphase 1 it is stores into the in this state only. After that, when they are enters into the proliferation state, whenever it is releasing into the GnRH, LH and the FSH hormones are releasing in the female, that time it enters into the they are causing into the proliferation state here. How it is means the tertiary follicles are becomes converting as a Graafian follicle. So it is occurs into the maturation. The tertiary follicular structure, the primary follicle whatever it is presented, the oogonial cell, it is a Stuen condition, is undergoes into the mitotic division. Mother cell is undergoes into the mitotic division and producing the more the number of 2-end oogonial cells are producing. Oogonial. So this is the oogonial mother cell and mitotic division they are forming the oogonial cell. So this condition, these are the primary oocytes. These primary oocytes further they are undergoes into the meiotic division. Oogonial mother cell. Proliferation we are taking means the oogonial mother cell is undergoes into the mitosis here and producing into the two oogonial cells. So after this proliferation, they are undergoes into the meiotic division 1. Meiotic division 1 is undergoes. Whenever they undergoes the meiotic division 1, they produce the haploids. N condition haploid cells are producing here. But here the haploid cells are producing into the one is the unequal division is forming. So one cell is having the largest cytoplasm, other cell is having the very little cytoplasm only. So this is called as a first or the primary polar body. This is called as a primary polar body is forming. So this is the N condition. Now the oogonial ovum is produced, egg cell is formed here. So this state is called as a proliferation. Once the N condition egg cell is formed, so next one is undergoes into the maturation state. Maturation form. So what it is happened, the maturation means this N condition oocyte is undergoes into the again the second division and forming into the again the unequal division is undergoes and producing into the one larger cell oocyte. It is called as a egg cell is producing, and this is called as a secondary polar body is forming. And the primary polar body also undergoes into the two division and producing the two secondary polar bodies. Totally in the females you are taking, sir, how many secondary polar bodies are there? Here the one secondary polar body, here the two secondary. Totally three polar bodies are forming. Okay, three polar bodies are forming here. So all these polar bodies they are going to degenerate later into the developmental stages. The egg cells are involving into they are releasing from the ovary. Each time they are releasing into the ovary and producing into the ovum. Okay, ova is produced. So this is the process of the maturation is occurs. Later the maturation is nothing but as a primary oocyte is converting the secondary oocyte. Secondary oocyte is primary follicle convert the secondary follicle. Secondary follicle is converted the tertiary follicle further continue as a Graafian follicle. So that is from the primary. So Graafian follicle too, whenever it releasing into the ovum, that forming into the secondary oocyte is forming. The secondary oocyte condition only, the ova is releases out from the ovary. Okay, secondary oocyte condition, it releases from the ovary. That means secondary oocyte is releasing into the body cavity, that is collecting by the fibria. Okay, so this is the process of the gametogenesis in the case of the females we are there. Next one, copulation and the fertilization process.